Hi everyone, I wanted to show you this program I wrote to help out with your daily Wordle puzzle. So if you play Wordle and you want to be competitive, it's imperative that before you put in a word and hit enter, you check to make sure it's not in the list of used words, words that have already been Wordle words. So Wordle draws from a list of 2,309 possible words. And at this point, about half of those words have already been used, and Wordle doesn't ever repeat words. So every single time you put in a word, there's a good chance it's already been used before. So you want to check the list of used words to make sure it hasn't already been used before you hit enter. But also, sometimes you want to check to make sure that that word is in the list of all 2,309 possible words, especially if it's a word that's plural or past tense, or if it's a strange word, maybe you're not even sure if it is a word. So oftentimes you're checking two different lists in order to be competitive at Wordle. So I kind of grew tired and bored of this. So what I did was I wrote a program that takes the list of used words and subtracts it from the list of all possible words. So you only have to check this one list before you type in a word and hit enter. You want to make sure that it's in this list, and then you're good to go. Okay, so I'll show you how it works. I wrote the list in Python. So in Windows, you just open a terminal by typing cmd. And you want to navigate to the folder or the directory where your Python file is located. And if you want to use this program, I can send you the Python file and you could save it wherever you like. But from your home directory, you can type dir to see a list of all the folders and files that are in the current directory. If you need to go back, you can type cd for change directory and ... This will go back one. You can see I'm in the directory C users Kendo. I don't know why it's Kendo. My name is Kendon, but anyway. And that goes back to C:users. But I actually saved this in the Kendo directory in documents within the directory. You can just start typing the folder and hit tab and it will autocomplete. And if I type dir in the documents folder, you can see my file right here, wordle.py. And to run a Python file, you have to install Python, which is super quick and easy. You just go to python.org and you download and run the installer, and that's it, you're done. Once you do that, you can type Python followed by the name of any Python file, and it will run that. It will run the code. So Python, and you can tab complete wordle.py, hit enter, and it runs. And the first run is a little bit slow. If you do it again, it'll be faster. And here you have the list of all possible remaining words. So before you type in a word and hit enter when you're playing Wordle, you just want to make sure that it's in this list and you're good to go. If you're wondering why I did this in Python, and not just make it a website, it would be a lot better and more convenient to just have a website that shows this list of words. It's simply because I didn't want to pay for any web hosting. Now, as far as I know, this doesn't exist currently online. And there's millions of people out there who play Wordle that could probably use this tool. So if I did put this in the form of a website, and I found a way to advertise it so people knew about it and they could find it, it does have the potential to make money. So if you're interested in paying for my web hosting and know how to advertise a website to get it out there so people can find it and want to make some money, let me know. Maybe leave a comment below. And that's it for the main part of this video. Most of you can just stop the video now. However, I am going to spend a few minutes to go through the program and show you how I wrote it. So if you're a computer nerd and you're interested in that, stick around and I'll show you how I did it. So the website that I pulled from the list, I pulled the list of used Wordle words from this website, rockpapershotgun.com. And what's nice about this website is it updates daily, and it also automatically adjusts for your time zone because, for example, if you're playing Wordle in Japan, you're going to get the new word sooner than if you're playing in California because of the time zone difference. So when you load this website, it automatically senses your time zone and adjusts accordingly, so there's no spoilers. Wherever you are in the world, it's not going to give you today's word until it's tomorrow, until midnight. So when you read in the website from Python, it doesn't read this in. If you right click and go to view page source, this is what it reads in. It reads in all this HTML code. Now, we have a bunch of code that's not just the list of words. So in our program, what we want to do is isolate the list. So we have the source code here, and I scrolled down, and here's the list of used words that we're interested in. And we want to look for some unique set of characters that Python can identify and kind of break up the code so that we get rid of all this extra stuff before the list. And this looks a little bit too generic, so I didn't use that. But this is a unique set of characters that we can use to break up the source code so we can get rid of everything before the list. Okay? So here's the Python file. If we're going to read in a website, we need this library, so we import this library. We create a variable called fp, and we use this command to open up the website. So in the quotes, you can just type whatever website you want, and it will read in the source code when you use the command read. Okay? So the source code will be stored in this variable mybytes, and now we're done reading in the website, so we can close that. Now, when Python reads in the code, it's actually not going to look like this. It's just going to look like a bunch of gibberish because it's reading in the like raw ASCII characters. So anyway, we have to decode it. So we use this decode on the UTF-8 character set. So this use word 0 is going to store the HTML code that we see here. And we split it based on that unique set of characters here. So this use words 1 is now a list. We have all the gibberish before the list, and then we have the list and everything after that. Now there's going to be a bunch of HTML code that we're not interested in after the list. So we want another unique set of characters that we can break so we can get rid of all the code below the list. So we have this unique set of characters. So we split it on that, and then this use words 2 will be the list and then all the stuff after. So we can index a list. In computer programming, we always start at 0. So use word 0 is going to be all the stuff before. This Wordle doesn't repeat words, which is the list that we're interested in. And use words 2 index 1 would be all the HTML code after the list that we're not interested in. So now we have this list of all the words, but we still have some junk that we need to get rid of. We have these li tags and the /li tags, and we have this ul tag. We want to get rid of all of that stuff. So I take the list and I split it on the li tag. That will give us a list of all the words minus the li tag. Then I use this join command to turn the list of items back into one long string. Just kind of concatenate it back into one variable again. And then I split it on the /li tag. And there's also this \n, which we don't see here, but it stands for new line. So if you look at these two words, woken and woman, they're on separate lines. Okay, so whenever you jump to a new line, there's a hidden \n that you don't see in the code, but when Python reads it in, you will see it. So we want to get rid of that as well. So we split it on not only the /li tag, but the \n tag, and that will get rid of all of that. So now we'll have almost a clean list of words, except for this ul tag at the end. And at the beginning of the list, we have the opening ul tag. So we want to get rid of the first item in the list and the last item in the list. So we use this pop command. If we don't use any index, it gets rid of the last item in the list. And if we use an index, pop 0, that gets rid of the word or the item at index 0, which would be the first item in the list. So now, once we've run these two pop commands, we have this variable usewords5, which will be a clean list of all the used Wordle words. Now we move on. We want to get the list of the 2,309 possible words. So because it's a finite list, I have it hard-coded in here. I didn't type all these by hand. What I did was I went to a website, wordunscrambler.com, I believe. They have the list of all the words, and there's a bunch of gibberish around it. So initially I pasted the list into Excel, and I ran a few Excel functions to get it into this form where we have almost a clean list. It's just separated by these blank spaces or tabs and this greater than symbol. So we just need to run a couple of Python functions to clean this up. First of all, we go upper because in computer programming, lowercase is different than uppercase. So we want to make sure the two lists are in the same case. And since the list of used words is all uppercase, I use this upper function to make this list all uppercase. And then I split it just like \n is new line, \t is tab, and then the greater than symbol. So \t greater than will get rid of this part of the list here. And now we have this all words 2, which is now a clean list of all possible Wordle words in uppercase. And now we just run this simple loop to remove all the used words from the list of total words. So we just say for I in all words 2. This will iterate, and it will iterate over each item in the list of all possible Wordle words. And each time it does it, the current word will be stored in this variable I. And we just run this if statement. If I, the current word, is in the list of used words, then we remove it from the list of all the words. That's it. And then we simply print all the words, and that gives us this. And you can use this to help you with your daily Wordle puzzle. That's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.